ever since.
I killed the boy with no evidence. I pay my dues up like every cent. Make sure I'm fresh as a peppermint. Riches they come, ain't no better men. Alright, it go like a treasure chest. Alright, it go like a leprechaun. I got a stick with a magazine. Young niggas fly as a pelican. I treat my ball like they one-on-one. I treat these hoes like they one-on-one. I smoke your dog and you 0-1. I smell like door and I overcome. I made a...
Alright guys, back again with another breakdown. So recently while cooking up, I've just been doing this thing where I just allow myself to use 3 sounds for the drums and 3 sounds for the sample. And you know, just been using this as kind of like a challenge to myself. So today I'm gonna go ahead and break this down for you guys, and I'm gonna show you some cool music techniques that you can apply to your stuff, and I'm also gonna talk about some stuff that can help your creativity. So let's just get into it. So first off, to begin with the sample, only 3 sounds, very laid back, jazzy, you know, it's not dark, it's not emotional, and this is what the sample sounds like on its own. So first off, let's start with the piano. Here I'm using the After Dawn preset, and this preset comes from my Illusions preset library. It's a kit which I use a lot. It's probably my best kit. It has 100 analog lab presets and 50 portal bank presets. Also, I've made sure to include a lot of sounds and even some texture presets, which you basically hold one note and it gives you these cool sampled sounds. Link is in the description. You can use this code for a discount, and this is what the piano sounds like on its own. So to break down the melody for you guys, we have 2 chords. I'm using the 1-5 chord progression here. So first off is a F sharp minor add 9, and then we have a C sharp minor add 9. Here we have the simple triad. If we skip a note from the scale and then we put another note, that's gonna be the 7th, and this is an F minor 7. And if we skip another note here and go here, this is the 9th of the chord. So if we leave it like that, that's a 9th chord. And now if we take out the 7th note, it just leaves us with this 9th, which is an add 9 chord. So after I laid down this chord, I just chopped it up. I took the root note, pitched it up an octave, then I chopped the 5th here, and then I just added this melody which walks us down to the next chord. And as far as the next chord goes, just took the first chord and then I pitched it down 5 and just placed it here. And at the end, I just added these 2 notes which walk us up to the next chord. All of the presets in my Illusions kit are already processed, so you don't really have to do too much. But in this case, I've used a couple of effects. So here I just wanted to take out the low end, and after that I added this fruity stereo shaper, which just made the sound more wide. Now after I was done with the piano, I didn't want to do too much because once again I'm just sticking to only 3 sounds. And the biggest thing that I learned from that is you actually need one very solid bass melody, and the rest is just spicing it up and adding variations. And every single layer that you add after that is just gonna support that melody. So after I had the piano, it was still kind of a bit dry, but I didn't want to add reverb. So what I did next was I wanted to add a pad, and I've been using this VST a lot, so it's really great for pads and, you know, just more ambient stuff. I'm using this Deep Space Diva preset, which is just following the chords without the melody, and it sounds like this. Now as far as the effects go on the pad, I wanted to take out the low end and just leave that space for the bass. And after that, since I like creating a lot of space and movement, I always add this pancake, which just makes the sound move from one side to the other. Once again, I just added this fruity stereo shaper, which makes the sound wide. And when you put it together with the piano, this is how it sounds so far. finally, since we didn't have any whoa end, I went ahead and I wanted to add some bass guitar. So I just opened up this boob bass, or as some people like to call it, boob ass. You know, I just turned down the mid knob and turned up the bass knob, after which I laid down this pattern for the bass. And here what I'm doing, I'm just following the root notes of the chord progression. As far as sound selection, I wanted an actual bass guitar which goes well with the piano, and I actually like the stock plugin because I didn't even use any effects. So when you add everything together, that's how it sounds. Now you might say that it sounds a little empty and the sample is nothing special, but that's another thing that I learned. You don't want to overcomplicate your stuff because the vocals are the main point of the song. So by just using less sounds and having a beat that sounds kind of unfinished and empty, there's actually a ton of space for the artist. And moving on to the drums, which sound like this. Once again, here I'm just using 3 sounds, well 4, but technically the sound here is doing the same thing since I just layered the snare with the clap. Now if you just play the bass and the kick, you'll probably notice that the kick and the bass are playing different rhythms, and this is known as syncopation, and this actually adds another layer to your productions. So that's a little cool concept that you can just implement with your bass and kick next time you make a drum beat. I'm gonna play it now and you're gonna see that they kind of bounce off each other. Now moving on to the hi-hat, just 2-step hi-hats, a couple of rolls. I've messed with the velocities here a lot. And after that we just have the clap and snare which I layered together, and that's how they sound. Now if you break down the drums of someone like Metro Boomin, you can actually notice that the drums are not very complex, and most of the time they're just creating a simple groove and a simple bounce for the artist. Drums don't have to be over the top to sound good. Also another thing, since a lot of people been asking me about the drums that I use, I've been actually working on this drum kit which I've been putting together. I'm probably gonna drop it with the next video and the kit is gonna be free. I might do a drum theory video next and just drop it with that. So yeah, make sure you catch the next video. I'm gonna be giving away a free drum kit. Once you add everything together, this is how the final beat sounds.
I got this day with a magazine. Young nigga fly as a pelican. I treat my boy like they one-on-one. I treat these hoes like they one-on-one. I smoke your dog and you 0-1. I smell like door and I overcome. I made a.
So that's all from me for today. Sample is gonna be in the description for free as always. And yeah, let me know if you're gonna be trying this 3 sound challenge in the comments below.